Now in the previous video we have seen the complex Fourier series. So thereupon we have represented f of t is equal to c suffix 0 added by c1 e to the power j omega t, further added by c to the suffix minus 1 into e to the power minus j omega t, and so on up to c suffix n e to the power j n omega t added by c suffix minus n into e to the power minus jn omega t here. So thereupon the basis we can regard to 1 comma e to the power j omega t comma e to the power minus j omega t, in this way up to e to the power j times n omega t comma e to the power minus j times n omega t here. So these are orthogonal over the interval 0 to capital T. So the capital T is the duration of the signal, and this is the representation with the help of omega to be the angular frequency. So the relation with the time period is that omega is equal to 2 pi divided by the time period capital T here. Now with respect to this particular representation, while interpreting the condition of orthogonality and the projection of the function onto a complex function, there it is a little bit of the difference here. So for that purpose, first of all, let us have consideration of any general vector v bar that is expressed in terms of the coefficients a, b, c and the unit vectors I, j, k. So v bar is equal to a into I added by b into j, further added by c into k over the geometric space defined as r cube here. So if we find out the norm or the normalization of the vector, we obtain the magnitude. So this magnitude is obtained by projecting the generalized representation of the vector notation onto itself. So that we can denote as mod of capital V is nothing but square root of the dot multiplication of V bar vector with itself. So we obtain square root of a square plus b square plus c square. Now this was with respect to the vector notations. Now we are having the complex Fourier series representation. As we are dealing with a complex number, generally the complex number is represented as z is equal to small a added by j times b. So small a is the coefficient of the real part and small b is the coefficient of the imaginary part here. So for determining or finding the magnitude, we have to make a multiplication to this representation of complex number denoted by z. So the multiplication is to be done by the corresponding complex conjugate of this number, and then we have to find out the square root value here. So as in case of the real function, we have the integration f of t into f of t dt. So for the complex functional representation, so for example z of t here, the normalization we can compute by carrying out the integration over the time interval t for z of t into the corresponding complex conjugate of z of t. Here it is shown with a bar over its head into dt here. So the formulation for projection of a function onto a complex function, here it is, and we must have multiplication of the first function with the complex conjugate of the second function, and then the integration is to be carried out here. So keeping in this point into the mind here, we are proving the set of functions to be the orthogonal here. The set of functions we have already listed: 1 comma e to the power j omega t comma e to the power minus j omega t, and this way in general e to the power j times n omega t, e to the power minus j times n omega t here. So let us denote the projection of the functional representation f1 of t onto f2 of t. So in that case, if we take the use of the functional basis as first of all the unit step function, then the cosine function, and then the sine function, let us divide the discussion in three cases here. For the first case, we take the signal u of t. So this is the step signal, that is why the magnitude is equal to 1, and here we are making the use of complex exponential e to the power j omega t. The time duration, it will be small t greater than or equal to 0 but less than or equal to the time period capital T. Omega is equal to 2 pi divided by capital T here. So we have the notation 1 comma e to the power j omega t in these brackets is expressed as the time integral 0 to capital T 1 multiplied by the complex exponential of e to the power j omega t. So we obtain integral 0 to capital T e to the power minus j omega t dt, that is also equal to the integral 0 to capital T e to the power minus j times 2 pi t divided by capital T dt, and this is equal to 0. Now next to that, let us talk about the complex exponential e to the power j times n into omega t and e to the power minus j times m into omega t here. So here we consider n and m are the positive integers here. So thereupon we represent the integration t is equal to 0 to capital T for e to the power j n omega t multiplied to the complex exponential of the second e to the power minus j into m omega t then dt. So this is equal to the integral 0 to capital T e to the power j times in the bracket n plus m, bracket is completed, further multiplied to omega into t and then dt. Next to that, we can get it to the form integral 0 to capital T e to the power j times n plus m multiplied to 2 pi by capital T, further multiplied by small t outside the bracket dt. Now here it is also coming equal to 0 here. And in the third situation, where we have e to the power j n omega t along with e to the power j m omega t, so n and m being either the positive integers or the negative integers, whereas both are unequal. So that time we can represent the integration t is equal to 0 to capital T for the multiplication of e to the power j n omega t with the complex exponential of the second representation e to the power j m omega t dt. So this is equal to integral 0 to capital T e to the power j times n minus m omega t dt, also expressed to the form 0 to t the integration over e to the power j times n minus m multiplied to 2 pi divided by capital T, bracket is completed, and further multiplied to small t dt, that also comes out to be equal to 0 here. So the three situations we have seen. So here we have to prove that the functions are orthogonal, but the condition of orthonormality for the complex exponential functions is again a question here. So for the orthonormality, as we have the integration t is equal to 0 to capital T for e to the power j n omega t with the complex exponential of e to the power j n omega t, the same complex exponential here dt, that is equal to the integral 0 to capital T e to the power j times n minus n omega t dt. So this will become integral 0 to capital T 1 into dt, and this integration will be left with the value capital T, the complete time period here. Next to that, we have the use of step function. So thereupon it will be the integral 0 to capital T for 1 into dt, leading the value capital T. So as we are not obtaining in both of these cases the value on the RHS to be 1, the unit value here, we can say that these functions are not satisfying the criteria of orthonormality here. So for getting them satisfying the requirement of orthonormality, we have to make a little bit of modification by scaling these particular functions here. So for both the unit function and the complex exponentials, let us make the scaling by the constant under root 1 upon capital T. So we find the orthonormal basis. So here we have the set of orthonormal bases represented as the first value is under root 1 upon capital T, second is under root 1 upon capital T. This is multiplied to the complex exponential e to the power j omega t. Next to that we have square root 1 divided by capital T e to the power minus j omega t. And this way we have in general square root 1 upon capital T e to the power jn omega t. And next to that we can have square root 1 upon capital T e to the power minus j times n into omega t here. So here if we have the representation of the signal into the space defined as L square for the functional basis here as satisfying the condition of orthogonality and orthonormality here, the representation of the signal f of t can be of this form where we write c suffix 0 dash multiplied to under root 1 by capital T u of t. This is the first term on the RHS, further added to c1 dash under root 1 by capital T e to the power j omega t, added to c suffix minus 1 dash under root 1 by capital T e to the power minus j omega t, and this way up to cn dash square root 1 by capital T e to the power jn omega t, further added to c suffix minus n, c is provided dash over its head in multiplication to square root 1 by capital T e to the power minus jn omega t here. So for this particular representation, as just now we have completed with the previous topic where we have seen the method of finding the coefficient. The particular coefficient we can determine by projecting the representation of f of t as this on the corresponding functional base here. So that is why we have c0 dash is equal to the integral 0 to capital T f of t multiplied by square root 1 by capital T multiplied to u of t dt, whereas cn dash will be equal to the integral 0 to capital T f of t multiplied by the square root 1 upon capital T into e to the power minus jn omega t dt, and c suffix minus n, c is having provided dash in this representation, and this is equal to the integral 0 to capital T f of t multiplied by square root 1 by capital T into e to the power minus jn omega t dt here. So this is what the representation that follows from the condition of orthonormality of the basis here. Now let us have the simplified representation of the expression by introducing the new constants here. So we can have c suffix 0 simply for c suffix 0 dash multiplied by the multiplicand under root of 1 upon capital T. So we get c0 dash, that is equal to the integral 0 to capital T for multiplication of f of t to square root of 1 by capital T u of t dt. So therefore c suffix 0 will be equal to square root of 1 by capital T first of all, further multiplied to the integral, that is 0 to capital T f of t into square root of 1 upon capital T u of t dt, that we can represent as 1 upon capital T f of t into u of t dt. Finally representing it 1 upon capital T integral 0 to capital T f of t dt here. And in the similar fashion we can have the notations for simplicity capital C suffix n that is equal to the multiplication of 1 upon t in the square root to that of Cn dash here. So this it becomes 1 upon capital T, the integration 0 to capital T f of t into e to the power minus jn omega t dt, and c suffix minus n will be the notation for c suffix minus n. C is provided dash over the head multiplied to square root of 1 by capital T. So this is equal to 1 upon capital T integral 0 to capital T f of t e to the power jn omega t dt here. So here we are obtaining the complex Fourier series into the standard form by using these particular notations, that is provided as f of t is expressed as c suffix 0 added by c1 into e to the power j omega t, further added by c suffix minus 1 into e to the power minus j omega t, and this way we have addition with the terms as like cn e to the power jn omega t, further added to c suffix minus n into e to the power minus jn omega t here.